What's up, guys? This is Black Ops, and today we're going to take a look at the weekly reset on the different vendor roles within the tower and see if they have anything worth purchasing this week for use either in the Crucible or PvE. So let's get into it. Check it out. I'm running. Oh boy. Alright, first off, we're going to talk to Blue Ribbon winner of all things emo.
Yes.
Alright, so starting off, he's got an Extremophile 011. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this auto rifle. It's actually a really good auto rifle. This week, we've got the Reflex Sight, Sure Shot IS, OEG Rifle Scope, Sure Shot being probably the best for this type of weapon. I enjoy it. It's got really good target acquisition. And it allows you to see more of your environment, so it's really useful in auto rifles. I like it a lot. Next up, you got armor piercing rounds, and then you got snapshot, which snapshot is going to be really good for an auto rifle. Then you got on the next tier, you got perfect balance, extremely low recoil, third eye, which we have a relic that does that, so that's useless. Persistence, which is the weapon grows more accurate the longer it's fired. But, you know, decent perks overall for an auto rifle. Next up, this week you're going to have the Keystone 01 Scout Rifle. Low rate of fire, high impact if you're not familiar with it. And very low stability, but fortunately we're going to have a perfect balance on that. This week for sights, we have Red Dot ORA2, the Range Lens RLS3, and the Reflex Sight, which personally I like the Reflex sight just for the aim assist. It's going to be pretty good. This week for the second tier column, you have explosive rounds and lightweight, and then you've got perfect balance, outlaw, and crowd control. Explosive rounds and perfect balance. This is probably going to be a pretty good PvE role. I wouldn't recommend it for Crucible, but with explosive rounds and perfect balance or outlaw and crowd control, it's actually going to be a really good combination for PvE type stuff, especially when you have a lot of enemies. So I would recommend this week for PvE, but I would probably pass on it if you are a Crucible only. Next up, we have the Worlds to Come 001 Fusion Rifle. Not a bad roll, actually. All in all, this is not a bad fusion rifle. You've got the Reflex, Red Dot, and OEG for the sights on this, but this week you have accelerated coils, which of course reduces the charge time but also reduces the impact. That's not a good thing. Perfect balance, stability on a fusion rifle is it's whatever. Spray and play is gonna be nice. You got a 5-round magazine, and with spray and play it should be pretty good. Hot swap, that's actually going to help you with your accuracy. All right, next up you have the Last Ditch 001 Shotgun, high impact, low rate of fire. For handling, you have smooth ballistics, accurized ballistics, and aggressive ballistics. Aggressive ballistics will give you more impact, but it completely dumps on your range and stability. I wouldn't recommend that perk. Extended mag, hip fire, those are pretty much self-explanatory. You have small bore this week, which increases your range and stability. Cascade, melee kills, reload a portion of the weapon's magazine, which is actually pretty handy for a shotgun. And then you have rangefinder. If you get your hands on some of that sweet, beautiful green, this actually might be a good shotgun to try on Crucible. All right, for snipers, you got Bitter Edge 010, and interesting combination. You've got the Ambush SLH25 and the ViewTac SLH20. Now, I actually like ViewTac scopes, and I'll make a video on that later. But the Ambush is actually pretty good too. But the only thing is you're going to have less aim assist, but if you practice with an ambush scope, you actually will see your aiming as a sniper improve. This week you'll have high caliber rounds, quick draw, which quick draw on a sniper rifle is amazing, and it's going to give you the best of both worlds. In fact, if you can get quick draw over snapshot, take quick draw every time, and more about that later. Hammer Forge, which is going to give you more range. Clown cartridge, which is not bad because once you reload you actually have more ammo, but as you know in the Crucible it's hard to get that ammo anyways. So, and then Firefly, overall not a bad purchase. All right, next up we're going to check out Future War Cult. All right, so first up is the Whale hand cannon, and this week you will have True Sight IS, Sure Shot IS, and Quick Draw IS. coupled with explosive rounds or quick draw being the better of the two for Crucible. Perfect balance, which is going to give you a ton of stability. Relentless tracker, which is fine, but I usually pass on that one. And reactive reload. With reactive reload, once you get a hand cannon kill and you reload, because you're going to do so on instinct anyways, it's actually going to grant you bonus damage for a short amount of time when you reload this weapon after a kill. So it's actually very good for hand cannons. Unfortunately, this weapon has terrible range, and as we know right now in the meta that we're in, what you want to look for is range. You want to max out that range on hand cannons to get the most effective hand cannon you can, and unfortunately this does not. So we will pass on this for this week. All right, next up we have the Waltz, which is a great pulse rifle all around. This time around we're going to have reflex, steady hand IS, OEG scopes, flared magwell, which is a faster reload, quick draw, which is a great perk. Really do love quick draw now. Perfect balance is going to give you that bonus stability that you want. Eye of the Storm, more accurate as your health gets lower. Let me just say this. I'm going to stop right here and say this. I'm not a fan of any perk that encourages you to have low health or be the last man standing on your fire team in order to be good. I think that's pretty stupid. That's planning for your other teammates to be terrible, or planning for you to be getting just dominated. But anyways, moving on. Eye of the Storm, garbage perk. Rodeo reduces the severity of this weapon's recoil. So this is actually going to be a really good pulse rifle this week. Some decent scopes. I like the steady hand myself personally, and then of course you got quick draw coupled with perfect balance and rodeo, and you're going to have a pretty good pulse rifle. So not a bad Waltz to pick up this week if you are a pulse rifle main in Crucible, or if you have been waiting on the Waltz to get good rolls. This isn't a bad roll to start with. All right, next up for your Voopers out there, you got the Waiting. And it's going to have accelerated coils, which reduces impact and increases charge rate, which on this is actually not bad because the impact's already so high, but the charge rate is so low. So that will actually help balance out the usage in Crucible. For scopes, you got the Reflex. You're going to have the Red Dot ORA2 and the OEG. Again, accelerated coils, but then you have Quick Draw. That's hard to choose from, because Quick Draw is great. Especially if you're pre-charging with a fusion rifle, then you may want to run quick draw, just because you're going to be able to draw that weapon faster, and you can actually aim down ADS faster with quick draw. So might be the best thing to run in Crucible usage. Hammer Forge is going to give you better accuracy and range, which is always a good thing. Range on fusion rifles, that is a huge plus. And then you have Spray and Play, and then rangefinder. So this is actually going to be probably one of your best fusion rifles if you're looking for one that you can pick up this weekend. All right, next up we have the Wounded Scout Rifle, and for scopes you can have Red Dot ORA2. You will have range lensed RLS3 and the Reflex. I usually enjoy the Reflex, and then of course for the long distance ranged, explosive rounds, full auto, Hammer Forge, which gives you the boost in range and unflinching and crowd control. And you can't look at future War Cults without looking at the Wormwood. This has been the bane of all Year 3 meta players, but honestly, it's been the success of a lot of people. So, it is what it is. I use it because it actually works really well. But, for the record, I've used hand cannons or sidearms since day one. This week you're going to have True Sight IS, you'll have Sure Shot, and Quick Draw. Quick Draw and Sure Shot being the better of the two options, depending on how you want to use it. High caliber rounds is actually a huge plus for sidearms, and most of them do have it. But this week you have Quick Draw, and Quick Draw again gives you that really fast swap to and really fast ADS. So this is actually going to be a very good option. You have Fitted Stock, which gives you bonus stability. Cascade, where the melee reloads a portion. I'd probably run Fitted Stock between these two. And then Hot Swap, which is readying this weapon grants you a period of bonus accuracy. So let's recap this weapon. All right, you're going to have Sure Shot, which is going to give you superb target acquisition, as it says, which I usually run with Sure Shot. But if you want super fast You can go with quick draw. Then you can go with quick draw on the second tier perk, which is going to allow you to swap to that weapon from your primary extremely fast and draw at ADS extremely fast. Then you're going to have fitted stock with the added stability, and then you're going to have hot swap, which gives you a period of bonus accuracy when you ready it. This is probably going to be the wormwood that replaces the wormwood I currently have. But if you haven't bought a wormwood, or you have one with a not so good roll, I would definitely recommend this week, because this is actually a very good roll for a very good sidearm. And lastly, we have the Warpath. This week you're going to have Warhead Veneers. Linear Compensator is going to give you a boost in stability and a reduction in blast radius, and Countermass, which gives you way more stability with a reduction to velocity and blast radius. Also useless. Next up, you got Flared Magwell, which is a faster reload, and Snapshot. Snapshot probably being the, well, you can go either way on that one. Both of those are pretty good. Heavy Payload, which is going to give you a higher blast radius that will effectively max out the blast radius of this weapon. You will have Battle Runner, Grenades and Horseshoes, which of course allows the warheads to detonate early based on the proximity of target. So if you don't have the best aim with a rocket launcher and you launch a warhead about 5 feet to the right of somebody, doesn't matter, it's going to blow up and kill them, because look at the blast radius. It's amazing. Speaker haters in the building! Alright, so new Monarchy this week. You're going to have the Assembly 2, which, as you know, is the extremely fast firing, highest rate of fire, lowest impact auto rifle. Which is not a bad combination. It's going to be something along the lines of Doctrine of Passing. This week you're going to have a reflex sight, quick draw IS, which I love, and the OEG rifle scope. Armor piercing rounds, which is going to give you better range also. And then you have quick draw, which again, we've talked about. Quick draw is an amazing perk to have on any weapon. This week we have perfect balance, which is great because these fast firing auto rifles have extremely low stability. They're going to have a lot of kick. So anything that's going to give you bonus accuracy on this weapon is going to be a plus. And then of course you have spray and play. And then lastly you have hidden hand, which is also a great perk. Gives you better target acquisition. And for any auto rifle, that's going to be a really good thing. Alright, next we have the Free Wheel 3. For sights or handling, we're going to have True Sight IS, Fast Draw IS, and we're going to have Quick Draw IS. Armor piercing rounds, which is alright. Hip fire, I don't hip fire very much, so this doesn't work for me, but if you do, there you go. Perfect balance is going to give you that bonus stability, outlaw, but look where our range is compared to our stability. So pretty much trash. You know where I'm going with this. Rangefinder is not going to help us enough. It's trash. Unfortunately, we're going to have to pass on this one this week because the range is so terrible. And honestly, this really isn't a great hand cannon archetype anyways. If you're going to run this archetype, I would definitely run with the Last Word. Next up, we have the Impeacher 5. This is another example of a great roll on a sidearm. Of course, you have True Sight, Sure Shot, Quick Draw. Then you have Armor Piercing and Quick Draw again. Then you have Hand Loaded, which gives you a little bit bonus range. Relentless Tracker, we don't need that. We don't need that anymore. But our Hand Loaded is going to give you some extra range along with Rangefinder. So you've got Rangefinder and Hand Loaded for range. You've got Quick Draw and Quick Draw IS for speed. This is going to be a lightning fast sidearm. And it's a little bit lower impact, but it's a faster rate of fire. It's actually going to do really well for people that are used to using that. So, if that's your archetype that you like for sidearms, or if that's the one you want to try out first, then I definitely recommend picking this one up this week. It's actually a pretty good roll. For shotguns, we have the Bad Counsel 4. And for handling, we're going to have Smooth Ballistics, Field Choke, which is going to give us more impact, reduces our range and stability, so that's a no-go. And Aggressive Ballistics, which again, more impact, no range, no stability. So, no-go on both of those. You're going to want to leave it on Smooth Ballistics. Flared Magwell, reload is quicker, Quick Draw is nice. Perfect Balance is again, bonus stability. Close Hand or Personal, 25% bonus melee damage after landing a hit. So that's actually a pretty good perk if you want to, shotgun melee, finish them off with the melee. And then you've got Rangefinder. Unfortunately, this is a terrible roll. Nothing really gives us range except Rangefinder, and that's not even enough to make this thing useful in the Crucible. So Nothing really here to write home about. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. And you know, there's definitely a few others, other rolls out there that are way better than this one this week. So we're gonna pass on this one. And now we have a machine gun, First Citizen, and we are looking at aggressive ballistics, linear compensator, which is going to give us less impact but higher range, and then we're going to have field choke, which reduces our impact slightly, giving us more range and stability, a considerable boost to range and stability actually. Next up we have armor piercing rounds and hip fire. Armor piercing probably be the better of those two for a machine gun. Perfect balance, you're going to have increased stability, which is great for a for this rate of fire, for this archetype machine gun. It's going to bounce around a lot, so you want to run that perfect balance. Of course, it's got crowd control, which would be nice, but we need that stability. And then you got persistence, which is the weapon grows more accurate the longer it's fired, which is actually useful in this case because we have 77 rounds. Unfortunately, this guy is not selling us anything worth talking about, so goodbye. Last but not least, we have our favorite quartermaster, the Crucible Quartermaster. This week we are looking at Zero Day Dilemma, which is a pretty good archetype auto rifle. It's got reflex scope, quick draw IS, OEG. That quick draw is going to give us super fast handling and also reload. So along with a good sight, you also have pretty good reload speed. You're going to spray and play and danger close. Braced frame is going to give you a huge boost in stability, but unfortunately it's going to reduce your magazine size. And then of course you have a pinned magazine, which increases your magazine size but reduces your reload. If you couple that with your quick draw IS, then it doesn't hurt you that bad. And then persistence. Next up we have the B29 Party Favor, which is a good pulse rifle all around. It's kind of the archetype of Outbreak Prime, if you're familiar with that. It's fast, but not quite as fast as the fastest, the Waltz. But it is a good pulse rifle to be using. This week you have Red Dot ORA2, Steady Hand IS, and also the OEG rifle scope, which is going to boost your range a little bit. Now, the Steady Hand will also give you improved stability and reload, which is not a bad thing. Next up, you have Eye of the Storm, and life support. Kills with this weapon while critically wounded have a chance to start regenerating health. You have brace frame, which there again, it gives you improved stability, reduces your magazine size, unfortunately. And then you have Feather Mag, which is going to boost your reload, basically max out your reload. But again, both of these perks are going to reduce your magazine size. Head Seeker. Okay, Head Seeker is great. Unfortunately, it comes at the cost of a very low magazine size either way. If you upgrade either one of these nodes, you're reducing your mag size. Alright, next up we have the Scout Rifle, the Hero Formula, which is a great scout rifle. It fires a little bit faster than most with a lower impact. You've got the Red Dot ORA, Focus Lens, FLA5, which is also going to give you the boost in range, and Reflex Sight, which all three are very good, very usable scopes. Life Support, which again, there you go, you're critically wounded and you have a chance to start health regen, but then you have Take a Knee. Take a Knee is a great perk. It gives you improved accuracy and stability, and reduced aim time and flinch under fire. Pretty much unflinching while you're crouching. Unfortunately, you have to make sure that you are mindful of your positioning. So if you're not crouching, then you're not going to get any of these perks. You're gonna have Brace Frame, which unfortunately, again, it decreases your magazine. What's up, man? You're being real stingy with ammo. And also armor piercing rounds, which is going to give you, better range and the effects that armor piercing rounds have on people. But unfortunately for Crucible, it's not a really great perk to have. And then reactive reload, reloading this weapon after kill grants bonus damage. My friends, we take a look at the palindrome. This week we have Steady Hand IS, Fast Draw IS, and Quick Draw IS, along with the Relentless Tracker, which is poop, and Spray and Play, which that's fine. Increase reload speed when the mag is completely empty. This week you're gonna have Reinforced Barrel. It's gonna knock your stability way down, but give you that bonus range that we're looking for. And then you're gonna have Lightweight, but with hand cannon, it's all about the range, baby. So we're gonna run Reinforced Barrel if we pick this up. And then Reactive Reload, which is gonna be that bonus damage after reloading after a kill. If you haven't purchased a palindrome, this isn't a bad one to purchase. Unfortunately, there are much better options out there. Last week was really good. The first time palindrome rolled around was really good. If you need to spend some points, that's fine. But if you have something else that you're comfortable using, you don't need this week, I probably wouldn't pick it up, just because it's probably going to roll something better next week. All right, for the fusion rifle, we have each new day, and we have the MD Reflex, Red Dot ORA2, and the OEG. Battle Runner, which is going to grant you that brief boost to the sprinting speed when you get that kill. And then Last Resort, which is going to give you that improved handling and reload if you're the last living player of your fire team. Hand laid stock is going to increase your stability almost to max, but unfortunately it knocks your range down. And then you have enhanced battery, which increases your magazine size, so that's not bad. And then you have hot swap. Overall, nothing impressive. I probably would pass on it this week. Next up for shotgun, you have the 44 curtain call, linear compensator, accurized ballistics, soft ballistics. So it's going to give you a huge boost of stability, but unfortunately it knocks down your range and impact, so we don't want that. Cascade is going to give you that extra, or it's going to reload a portion of the magazine if you get that melee kill while using it. So that's not bad. But you know, when you pick up special now, it automatically reloads anyways, so it's kind of whatever. Battle Runner, rifled barrel. Now this is something we're looking for. We're going to get some extra range, and that's actually a pretty decent boost to range. Unfortunately, reload is down, and then you have quick draw. Unfortunately, we can't use both of these. We got to use rifled because we need that range on the shotgun. And then we got full auto, which is essentially it's going to increase your shotgun speed, your rate of fire. So not a bad roll to pick up. I think honestly the last ditch is a little bit better this week. So just be mindful if you're looking for one of these. Again, this is not a bad roll to pick up. Me personally, I'm going to pass on it though. Next up we have Anton's Rule. Sidearm, it's we got steady hand IS, we have sure shot IS and quick draw IS. Outlaw, which is going to give us those increased reload speed after precision kill, and then feeding frenzy, which is going to give you increased reload speed for a short time after you get killed. Hand loaded, going to give you a little bit bonus range. Casket mag, which is going to give you a higher magazine size, but it's going to reduce your stability. So this is going to give you some extra rounds to run. And it's not a bad perk to have. And then of course you have hot swap, which is when you ready this weapon, it's going to grant you with some bonus accuracy for a short time. So not a terrible roll, but unfortunately we do have some better rolls in the tower, so we're going to pass on you this week, Anton. All right, for sniper rifle we have Event Horizon. It's a slow rate of fire, but you know, high impact. This week you're going to have the Hawkeye SLR-15, which is an amazing scope. I love this scope. You're going to have a short gaze, which again, huge fan of the short gaze, and it's the SLH-10, so that's really good quick to aim scope, real snappy. And then Eagle Eye SLR-20 for long range, of course, if you need that for PvE environments. Army of One, quick and assisted kills, is going to reduce grenade melee cooldown time. That's fine, but now we have Mulligan. And we want to use that because missing a shot will have a chance to return ammo directly to the mag. That's a good thing. Then we have armor piercing rounds and casket mag, which is going to give you the bonus magazine size but reduced stability. And then of course you have unflinching. Next we have the chaotic neutral machine gun. It's going to be that balanced rate of fire and impact archetype with low range and stability. This week we have CQB ballistics. Smart drift control, which is going to add us a little bit of stability but reduce us in range. And then we have soft ballistics, which unfortunately reduces our impact but gives us a little bit better range. Life support, which is going to have that chance to regenerate ammo, or health, I'm sorry. And then we have spray and play, which gives us that quicker reload when our magazine is empty. And since this machine gun only has 31 rounds, that's actually not a bad perk. Next up we have perfect balance, which is going to give us a huge boost in our stability. And rifled barrel, which gives us a huge boost in range. Because the stability is relatively high on this weapon already, I'd probably run rifled barrel. Even though it's going to reduce your reload, you have spray in place, so it won't hurt you as bad. And then next up you have persistence, which is the longer you fire, the more accurate the gun gets. And lastly, we have something wicked this week comes. It's got aggressive launch this week, soft launch, and hard launch, which is going to soft is going to reduce your blast radius by a little bit, but it's going to give you a higher velocity and stability. And then you have hard launch, which is going to decrease your blast radius by a little bit, but give you bonus velocity. So if I were going to run one of these, I'd probably run hard launch, just because it's already got maxed out blast radius, and that's great. Grenadier, which is going to give you a cooldown on your grenade for getting kills, and also Army of One. Be perfect balance, stability on a rocket launcher, whatever. Heavy payload, that's going to bump your blast radius back up. So if you use hard launch for the velocity when you run heavy payload, you'll get your blast radius back. And then you have cluster bombs, which is actually surprisingly helpful in Crucible. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to cover it for the tower roles and the vendor roles that you have within the tower this week. So overall, some good options. Let me know what you're going to pick up in the comments below. And until next time, Guardians, Black Ops out.